Hi, so if you've done a lot of causal coding, especially if you've done it manually, you might find that you've got a um, quite complicated list of different factor labels, and maybe you're happy with some of them and not so happy with others of them. In this case, this is a copy of our favorite file example original, and you can see that there's lots of different labels in it, but maybe we're not exactly happy about some of them, and we need to do some kind of high level restructuring, making perhaps using hierarchical labels, using semicolons in order to distinguish between higher and low level concepts, or maybe just need to systematically, maybe one we've done it collaboratively and one coder's used American spelling and one coder's used UK spelling or something like that. But you need to do, the problem is you need to do a kind of bulk refactoring of the factor labels. Now, there's another video that shows you how you can use this search replace box, which is pretty pretty powerful. But sometimes you just say, look, I want to see all of my labels, and I just want to like go through the whole lot and tidy them all up, do a massive spring clean. Now, there's a very small button here on the factors table, which doesn't look like much, but what it does is it shows you something like a view of it's the same information as you'd see in the factors table. So you see there's 10 factors here, just the same as there were 10 factors here, but you just see the labels and you can edit the labels directly, which is a pretty amazing thing. But you've got to remember that it responds just exactly to whatever table-like settings you've got here. So you see if you go paginate through all the if you're viewing 10 at a time, then you see there's you see the first 10, then the 50, 60, 70, 80, the 90th, the 100th, etc. set of 10 factors. Or you can just change the page size. In this case, there's about, I think, 300 factor labels. So if you just switch it to 1,000, then you can see all of the labels all at once. It's very important to understand that any changes you make only apply to the just exactly those factors you can see in front of you on the screen. And otherwise, these labels respond just the same way as the table does. So if I click here to sort by factor label alphabetically, then you can see that they're all alphabetically organized, and you might think, aha, now this is something that's useful because I might have, for example, a nice system going at my top level labels here, but I'm not sure about what's going on down here, and I might want to change some things, reorganize the levels of the hierarchy, for example, and that's what I can do with this editor. So very simply, we could simply change bank D. So the simplest possible example, I could just change bank D to bank X, for example. Yeah. So I change using this text editor just exactly what I want. I save changes, and then that label will be changed. If I say press save, you see what's going to happen. It says you're about to rename one factor. There's only two links that ever mention this one factor, changing bank D to bank X. So I can say yes, or I can say cancel. I'm not going to do that, in fact. But there's a lot more you can do because it's a sophisticated text editor. You can do things like multiple cursors. So if I press on my keyboard Control Alt and the down arrow, you see how I can select multiple things at once. So I can say instead of agricultural production, I might change this to farm production, for example, um, by using these multiple cursors. And this blue box here, it gives you a lot of details about all the different shortcuts there are for using this powerful text editor. A different thing you can do, I'll press Control Z to undo that. Supposing I think, what else is there to do with agriculture around here? So I'll select just agriculture, and I'll use I think it's Control Alt and then right arrow, and you see it's selecting all of the different instances where agricultural have been mentioned, and I can then, that's multiple cursors, so I can start to type. It's not going to quite work because it's not going to work because of agricultural, but you get the idea that you can use searching, to create multiple cursors, and then you can type into those that selection to do all kinds of powerful different changes to the text here. It's absolutely essential if you've got especially if you've had a team working on the coding, you've got lots of different, maybe similar but not quite the same codes, then this is the tool you're going to be coming to again and again.